To everyone, welcome and thank you for being here. Today is truly a day of a good day of reckoning, a time to bring truth forward about an experience that has long gone unheard. On behalf of the Chiefs of Ontario and the Political Confederacy, I would like to acknowledge the survivors of the 60 Scoop that are here with us today, the families, the friends, the elders, and everyone who couldn't make it to Toronto for today's gathering. Let's give a big round of applause to all these awesome speakers. I also want to acknowledge the chiefs that are with us here today, all the government officials, Charlie Angus, and those that are from the Crown governments, and people supporting our survivors. Greetings and thank you for your presence here today. It is important that we acknowledge the memory of those that aren't with us today, as well as the families that had to endure the loss of loved ones as a result of the government's discriminatory child welfare policies. The reality is this: you will all know someone that is affected by the 60 Scoop here if you haven't been directly impacted yourself. Whereas if you ask a crowd of this size in a non-native community if they had been affected by the unilateral child welfare system or policy, barely a hand would be raised. Folks, that ought to tell us something went wrong. That's what we bring to the bench here today. I know that the path to get to where we are at today has been an emotional time for those people that have survived the 60s era. I would especially like to commend Chief Marsha Brown, Martel, and Robert Commanda in their efforts to proceed with the litigation regarding the horrendous events connected within the 60 Scoop. The 60 Scoop refers to the adoption of Aboriginal children in Canada between the years of 1960 and the mid-1980s, and is due to the high numbers of adoptions that took place during this era. In many cases, some of these children were literally scooped from their homes without the knowledge or consent of their families, and many of them have never returned home. It's no mistake that this sounds accurately like the residential school grab. The long-term effects continue to be felt in every First Nation community across Canada, as parents' children continue to deal with the devastating effects of lost families and lost lives. Displacement, loss of culture and spiritual freedom, and loss of identity by design of colonial policies to remove the Indian in the child. Dr. Michael Dan, a great advocate of First Nations people who speaks a great deal